सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तवम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पद आनशृण्वन् ऊतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। नारद उवाच प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं गौरीपुत्रं विनायकं भक्तावासं स्मरेन्नित्यम् आयुः कामार्थसिद्धये प्रथमं वक्रतुण्डं च एकदन्तं द्वितीयकं तृतीयं कृष्णपिङ्गाक्षं गजवक्त्रं चतुर्थकं लम्बोदरं पञ्चमं च षष्ठं विकटमेव च सप्तमं विघ्नराजं च धूम्रवर्णं तथाष्टमं नवमं बालचन्द्रं च दशमं तु विनायकम् एकादशं गणपतिं द्वादशं तु गजाननं द्वादशैतानि नामानि त्रिसन्ध्यं यः पठेन्नरः न च विघ्नभयं तस्य सर्वसिद्धिकरं प्रभो विद्यार्थी लभते विद्यां धनार्थी लभते धनं पुत्रार्थी लभते पुत्रान् मोक्षार्थी लभते गतिं जपेत् गणपतिस्तोत्रं षड्भिर्मासैः फलं लभेत् संवत्सरेण सिद्धिं च लभते नात्र संशयः अष्टभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यश्च लिखित्वा यः समर्पयेत् तस्य विद्या भवेत् सर्वगणेशस्य प्रसादतः इति नारदपुराणे संकटनाशनगणेशस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्. Now let's chant Guru Stotram. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जङ्गमं व्याप्तं यत्किञ्चित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो यः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यशाश्वतशान्तः व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीतः तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्तिसमारूढः तत्त्वमाला विभूषितः भुक्तिमुक्तिप्रदाता च तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्त कर्मबन्धविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानप्रदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोः पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथः श्रीजगन्नाथः मद्गुरु श्रीजगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिनदादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Let's chant Gita Dhyana Shlokam. Om पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम् नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्धनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं गानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पथैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रिमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Om. Let's start our session with our prayer to the Bhagavad Gita Acharya, Sri Krishna. Lift your hands up to Krishna and say, Oh Krishna, oh Lord, I am helpless. I don't know the way out of my sorrow. Please give me shreyas. Lift me up. Make me fit enough for Atmakaya. Light a fire in front of you. Stoke the fire. In that fire, offer your past papa karma phala. Swaha. Anger, swaha. Resentment, swaha. Jealousy, swaha. Intolerance, swaha. Inadequacy, swaha. Lack of interest, Swaha. Opinion on others. Swaha. Others' opinion on me. Swaha. Desire to control others. Swaha. Desire to judge others. Swaha. Under the grip of others' judgment. Swaha. Doubt on Veda Pramanam. Swaha. Doubt on the Guru. Swaha. Feeling fearful. Swaha. Feeling anxious. Swaha. Feeling agony. Swaha. So help me God. I'm a pure divine Atma. May I be ready for knowledge. Okay, we are all ready to get into Atma Jnana, Atma Vichara. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं रिपीट विथ मी अशोच्यानन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासु न गतासूंश्च गतासु न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः. Now whole verse Ashocha. I mean, we have to start like Shri Bhagavanuvacha Ashochyananvasocastvam Pragyavadanscha bhashase Gatasu Nagatasunscha Nanusochanti Panditaha. So Krishna, the teacher here, Yogacharya, Guru says Ashochan. Normally, when we talk about Shastras, Shastras normally do not start with a negative, don't do. They don't start like that. Okay, but in this text, there is a dhatu. The dhatu is nan dhatu. That means, no, don't start. It starts with a don't. Don't grieve. It's a very rare kind of thing. That's because the entire Gita Shastra not a belief. It teaches you, tells you that your dukkha is illegitimate. Your sorrow is illegitimate and it can be absolutely removed. Please let this get this very, very clear. Absolutely removed. Lesha, not even a trace will remain. So it starts with Asocyan. And then in chapter 18, it will end will Aham tva sarva papebhyah moksha ishyami masucha. So don't grieve. It ends with therefore don't grieve. In between, the 17 chapters tell you what is the nature of dukkha, how you should prepare yourself to get this knowledge, and how to root out sorrow from your life. That is Gita Shastra. And if there is something which can root out sorrow from our lives, it is meant for us. And when Krishna is actually addressing Arjuna, Asocyan, Anvasochastvam, Pragyavadanscha bhashase, Gatasu, Agatasu, na Anusochanti Panditaha. You are like a Pandita. He is addressing all of us. He is holding Arjuna like this and he is looking at all of us and saying, all of you, each one of you, think that you are all wise people, but you are not acting wise. By grieving over things that do not deserve grief, you are not acting wise. Gita is not meant only for one category of people. It is not meant for one section of people. It is universal knowledge. This has to be very, very, very clear knowledge. It's universal knowledge. It's not meant for us. இவங்களுக்கு இல்லை. It's not meant for you. It's not meant. No, it's meant for everybody. Because dukkha is a universal problem. It's a human problem. Now let's see. So, shoka. Shoka is sadness. Last week we saw how sadness is not a problem. Sorrow is a problem. I have dukkham is no problem. I am dukhi is the problem. Okay. I have sadness is not a problem. I am sad. I am basically an unhappy person. A lot of people told me. One person told me, I'm basically an unhappy fellow. And that day, I was in one of my pleasant moods. I giggled. What happened was that fellow stopped coming to my class afterwards. That fellow is talking about his sadness, and I'm who will come? So that's what Krishna said, Prahasanniva Bharata. He as though laughed. He did not laugh. I should have learned lesson from Krishna. So I'm basically an unhappy person. I'm a sorrowful person. Okay, so shoka. There are two types of shoka, sadness. One shoka is universal shoka. The other is personal shoka. Okay? Universal shoka is shoka for everybody. So that's why in this verse, in chapter 2, Krishna has taken death as an example. Somebody once asked me, why are you talking so much about death? Last week I told him, where does Yama reside? Double labbu. And fellow called me and said, sir, double labbu kekave bayama reside. The night I am not feeling sleepy because every time when the heart beats, I have a feeling Yama is going to say, stop it. So why are you telling me all this? So what happens is, why he's taken this example? Because death is a universally sorrowful experience. You don't go to somebody's death and say, hello, hearty congratulations. No. In fact, I saw an email message, especially, in your Facebook, when somebody writes, my father passed away. I put that news about 10, 11 years ago, my father passed away. So I put in the Facebook, my father, Sri Krishna, passed away on such and such a day in July. A lot of people who knew me condoled. I got 112 likes. I wanted to know, what did my father did not leave me much money. What money he left for you to have liked his death? I still don't know. So therefore, unthinking, people press like. You don't go to somebody's funeral and say, hello, hearty congratulations. Okay, this is called a universal shoka. Like that, there are some universal shokas. And somebody is, the whole world is rid by a certain ailment. It's called a universal shoka. So this is universal shoka. Allah, there are universal shokas. There are some personal shokas also. Okay, like there was a wedding going on. Okay, and in many, many Christian weddings, the bride wears white. Okay, somebody asked her, why are you wearing white? She says, it's the happiest day in my life. And that fellow asked, why is the man wearing a black suit? What does that signify? Usually the groom looks pretty glum that day. Happiest day for the bride, maybe unhappy day for the man, who knows. Okay, said in jest. Okay, now what happens is, there are certain universal happy days. There are universal happy occasions. There are universal sad occasions. Similarly, there are personal sad occasions, personal happy occasions. So in a personal sad occasion, I may be sad, but you may not be sad. This is not a problem. This comes, goes. The problem is when you look at yourself as sorrowful. Aham dukhi. I am sorrowful. Now, when you're talking about sorrow, shoka, where is it centered? Is it centered on the head? Is it centered on your hands? Where is it centered? It is actually centered on you, the person. So, the problem has been taken up on you. You have taken the sorrow. What is the sorrow?
how does sorrow come into our life? So we saw last week how hurt contributes, how regret contributes, regret, guilt. We did all that swaha, swaha, swaha. It's not supposed to work on you anymore. So slowly you are supposed to see all those things are burnt off. How does this work? Now both are centered on the self. Now, what is the cause of this sorrow? The Pramana, Gita Shastra says, the root cause of the sorrow is something called moha. Moha means confusion. It will be translated as delusion, and there is no such thing. It is confusion. Confusion about what? Okay. Confusion stems from ignorance. And in confusion, you have given more value to something or a person or a situation or an event, more value than what is required. It's called Shobhana Adhyasa. You have given more value. Or you have given less value than what it deserves. Let's take a few instances. What are the things that we value very much in life? Possessions, positions, people, my own body, my relationships. On all these, I have value. It is good to have value. Good to have value for all these things. Okay, let's take an important item called money. Is money valuable? See, everybody is silent because their law is valuable. If it's not valuable, I'll give you account number. Please transfer right away because it's very valuable. Anybody needs money. Even Mahavishnu needs money. That's why he married Mahalakshmi. Okay. Without Mahalakshmi, how can he run the business of maintenance of the whole creation? Everybody needs money. And in our Sanatana Dharma, in our Vedic Dharma, money is not just money. For us, it is Goddess Lakshmi. We have given wealth a very important status in life. Just look at it. Look at life. You want to have a house. What is it called? You need Graha Lakshmi. So you want to get married, you must have Vara Lakshmi. You want to have children, you must have Santana Lakshmi. Food, Anna Lakshmi. Okay, you need money, Dhana Lakshmi. Cooked food is Anna Lakshmi. Pre-cooked food is Dhanya Lakshmi. Then after the married man, you need a lot of stout-heartedness to run the family. You need Dhairi Lakshmi. Without Lakshmi, nothing works. So for us, the Vedic Parampara people, Sanatana Dharma people, Lakshmi is an important, not just important, she is goddess for us. That's why when you see, even if it's a demonetized currency note, you will still touch your eyes to it. You will not crush it and throw it into the waste paper basket because money represents Lakshmi for us. And now let's look at the importance that we give to money. I must have told you this once in the past. Let me go a little further and see, reiterate it so that we should understand how do we imbibe the value for money. We should understand this very clearly, okay? Don't look at any of these Bhagavad Gita subjects very casually at the surface level. Go deep, relate to it. Relate very deeply, only then it will work. Otherwise, you will say, I went through the Gita, but Gita will never go through. So relate to it very deeply. As a child, when I went out and then I wanted something, the shopkeeper gave me, before giving me, he looked at my father. My father said, nodded, and he didn't say anything. So he gave me what I wanted. Something changed hands. So I saw my father give something to him, something changed hands. And when something changed hands, I got what I wanted. As I grew up, I realized that what changed hands is money. There are different color paper. Each color has a different value. So at one point of time, I understood money buys. As I grew up, as I became an adult, and as I grew up, I realized not only money buys, I realize nothing buys like money. So, what I've done, I have projected money at a place which is much more important than what it actually is, what it actually has. I have assumed that money can not only buy me things, it can buy me people. It can, yeah, buy you positions. Can it buy you scholarship? For scholarship, you need another lady there. There's a very beautiful story. Somebody asked, everybody is saying Lakshmi, 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 Lakshmi. Nobody go towards Saraswati. Why? That's why maybe she's playing the sorrowful tunes in Veena. No. Saraswati knows very well. For you to make some use of the money, a little bit of Saraswati is necessary. That's why she's very happy and full in herself. It's the story. So, can money buy you scholarship? It can buy you books. Can it buy you scholarship? It can buy you position, but can it buy you respect? Can it buy you relationships? So, if you understand what money can buy and what money can do, you would be able to clearly appreciate the role of money in your life. Money is useful. It's not just useful, it's very, very useful. Especially in the Kali Yuga, money is, at today's economic conditions, money is very, very useful. It's a very powerful tool. Money and all that the things that money can buy, the things come under the category of artha. Okay? And they say, money gives you security. We have to be very, very careful. Money gives you economic security, it gives you financial elbow room, nothing beyond that. And the money you make in India may not be useful in some other country. You have to exchange it. You have to exchange it and take it to other country in different currency. So once this system is over, this costume is over, you go this costume to another place. You have to exchange it for another currency. That currency is called punyam. So artha. Okay, it's definitely useful. It makes my life comfortable. Then, along with artha, I buy a lot of other things. It gives me a lot of side benefits. That is called kama. Kama means pleasures, entertainments. We all look at kama only as lust. It's not lust alone. It is pleasure. It is entertainment. All kinds of entertainment. Everything which gives me a lot of joy. So, artha, kama. So, as human, the universal human pursues artha and kama. And he not only pursues for here, somebody has told him that there is something hereafter also. So you want to earn some punya, so that hereafter some benefit is there. Some balance is in another account somewhere, so that when you go there, you can spend from that account. So here and hereafter. And for hereafter, it is called dharma. So you have artha, kama, dharma on the one side. You have to think, why are you pursuing artha, kama, dharma? Why is it that you pursue artha, kama, dharma? Do you want money per se? Do you want possession per se? You want relationships just for the sake of relationships? You want position just for the sake of position? This is where we have to delve a little deeper. What does artha, kama, and dharma give you? Artha, kama, and dharma gives you something from inside. A fellow says, I feel good. You feel good. That means you did not feel good. I feel insecure. Oh, I feel secure. That means you felt insecure. I'm free from worries. That means you had worries. I'm free from anxiety. That means you had anxiety. So all these were on your person. Okay. I was insecure. I was anxious. I was wanting. Were you comfortable with this feeling? No. So, in and through artha, kama, and dharma, you are not demanding artha and kama for what? For its sake, you are demanding it for something else. You are demanding artha and kama and dharma so that you are free from the smallness that you have put on yourself. You are free from the garb of insecurity that you have put on yourself. You are free from the unhappy person that you want to be free. Therefore, it takes you to the other side. That freedom is called moksha. Okay? Now, if moksha were something you can reach in time, what would happen? In time, you can also get out of that place. So, therefore, you want to be free. You can't become free. Therefore, the Vedas come and tell you there is only one other way out. You are already free. You are already a free person. You are already a Mukta Purusha. But you have taken yourself to be bound, limited, wanting. And that is a problem of moha, ignorance. Ignorance about the fact about your own self. Ignorance has led you to moha, has led you to the deep rooted sorrow. And unless ignorance goes, sorrow will not go. Until you address ignorance, sorrow will remain. Yeah, you can do some diversion. You can do some diversion. What is the diversion? Some palliative care can be. Somebody will say, work very hard. Take your mind off all this sorrow. How long will you work? Okay, some people say, accept yourself. Accept yourself is the biggest joke I've ever come across. What is accept yourself? I am a diseased person. Accept yourself. So what is it? I am diseased. Okay. And then I am not very successful. I have not got a good job. I don't have sufficient. Accept yourself. So I accept yourself that I am a weak failure. So you accept yourself, you accept yourself, accept yourself. How will the problem get solved? I am accepting. You are only confirming that I am a sad person. Vedas has to come and tell you you are not a sad person. You have taken yourself to be sad. You are not sad really. Asocyan, anvasochastvam. You have taken on a sorrow, not knowing that sorrow is not your nature. It is not your nature to be sorrowful. It's like fire. You know, the fire says, I want to be hot. A ring says, I want to be gold. Sugar says, I want to be sweet. So it's your nature. There's a slight logic also here. Asocyan, let's look at the logic side before we go to the other side. There is a practical minded fellow. Okay, he says if death were to, crime were to bring back the dead, I would cry. It doesn't come back. So what is the problem? There were three fellows. Who is a practical fellow? So there was a doctor who said you have 6 months to live. So one fellow says, what do you want to do now? I want to make a will. Another fellow says, I want to live it up. I've got only 6 months. I've always been a conjuice. Let me live it up. What does the practical fellow say? He says, I want another doctor. So there are practical fellows who will say, no, what's the point in crying? Why are you making a noise unnecessarily? Will crying solve your problem? There are practical fellows. So he's just looking at it from practical angle. There is nothing to grieve about. You are grieving this fellow Bhishma will die, Drona will die. He said, they are all capable of taking care of themselves. They have come to war not unprepared. They are all capable of taking care of us, themselves. Very often, much of our dukkha has come because we have taken on others' problems. The empathy, there is something called empathy. You know? Empathy. There is one fellow empath. Who is this empath? Who is actually standing in my shoes? Who can feel my pain? If he does not know how to insulate himself, then he will directly import my pain. And whether I lose sleep or not, he will definitely lose sleep. Anything that happens to that person will immediately hit this person. Empathy. Many of us do this, you know. Many of us are in the business of doing. That's why they charge a fees, because you know when the fee is high, people will not tell you all details. This fellow charges so much, so keep something limited. At least it will give you some kind of. In fact, there are some counseling centers. They say after you finish counseling, you have to let it out. You don't carry anything home. So when you take on others' sorrow, that's why you are worried about Bhishma, worried about Drona. They all know how to take care of themselves. They all know. Everybody has come with his list of prarabdha, has come with his bundle of karma. He knows how to handle life himself. So it's not a big deal, really. You don't have to really worry about others. Practical. Then let's look at a slightly, let's not go into absolute philosophy, basic philosophy, Vedic philosophy, our kind of philosophy. We all say this is not our, we always have next. Everybody talks about Purva Janma. We all talk about next Janma. Every Hindu will talk about it. Adutha Janmathali yavadu. At least in my next Janma. That will be a talk of almost everybody who is born in the Hindu community. They talk about it. In next Janma, at least I should not have this. In the next Janma, at least I should be born in this way. And the next Janma is a problem. So he says from that angle, you don't have to worry about death because nothing is stopping here. This fellow will drop this costume, go into another Janma. Who, he will go and end up in that Janma as another person with him. So Janma also, it continues. Now comes to the deeper question. He says, have you looked at it from Atma angle? Let us look at it from Atma angle. Careful here, these are very, very subtle truths. You have to be very careful. And if you have doubts, you can either ask me at the end or send me a message so that next week I'll clarify. I'll be taking through these sessions a number of times. There are two things. One is Anatma. Anatma means everything other than me is Anatma. What is not me is Anatma. I am Atma. Okay. What is Anatma, what is not me, is not Chaitanya Vastu. It is Jada Vastu. Okay. A Vastu. This cannot give me sorrow. Okay. This is just a Vastu. Something external. It cannot give me sorrow. But yeah, some people have, this gives the people are missing or this gives a lot of people sorrow. A lot of people sorrow. A lot of. Does the loss of this gives you sorrow? Yes. Why? Because you have projected that without this equipment, I cannot be happy. Right? Why can't you be happy? My entire database is here. All my contacts are here. My Facebook likes and dislikes are here. There are other things, Instagram. All my pictures are here. All my photos are here. All my contacts are here. All my music files are here. Everything is here. I lose it. It is worse than losing my. There was a fellow, they say, long back. There are some people who attach so much importance. So they say in Rajasthan, a fellow was carrying 2 buckets of water. He fell down and hurt himself. And he had a feeling something was trickling down his hand from the behind, behind his hand shoulder. Something was trickling down. He was praying, "Oh God, I hope it is blood and not water." That is the value for water there, that if something is flowing down, they are preferred to lose blood. So I'm prepared to lose everything, but I'm not prepared to lose this. Adhyasa. Look how much attachment I've put to this equipment. This, what is it called? Gadget. So Anatma is one side. I am Atma. Adantma being, it's by its very nature. By its very nature being anatma, it cannot give me sorrow. I am the user of the anatma. I am the user of the stuff. How can a stuff give me a problem? There are two, there is an external world and there is an internal world. I use the external world. If I decide to shut down the internal or shut out the external, it cannot bother me. I can shut out the external by various methods. So there is an external, there is an internal. The external cannot bother me. The internal, yes, can bother you. In fact, Vedanta takes you much deeper and says the internal, do an analysis. When you do the analysis and come to the core, when you come to the core person that you are, if the core person is sad, let's say I'm a core person, I'm basically a sad person. You know something, I'll be happy being sad. Careful, okay? If the core person is sad, I will never be complaining I'm sad. Because I complain that I am sad, it reveals a certain fact about me. Okay, let's take an example. There are so many of us here. Many of us are wearing glasses. Okay, have you ever gone to an ophthalmologist and said, "Oh, doctor, I can see properly"? Have you ever gone? Huh? Have you ever gone to a ENT fellow and said, "I can hear very well. I can hear what even the next door neighbors are talking through the walls"? Have you ever complained that you are able to see well? Have you ever complained you are able to hear well? Have you ever gone to somebody and said, "I don't know, I'm very happy, there's no problem. Look at my jadagam and say, I'm very happy these days"? Have you ever complained? So what does it tell you? Not being able to see, not being able to hear is something which is not natural to you. If it were natural to you, you would never ever complain. Similarly, being happy is natural to you. That's why you complain when you are sorrowful. Yeah? Being happy is natural to you. It's your Atma Swarupam. I must have once put in a voice clip. Aham Ananda Swarupam. In content, as a core person, I am a happy person. I am a happy soul. That's why I complain when I am unhappy. To solve the unhappiness, I have to go. I am helpless because whatever way I figure out, I always find myself an unhappy person. Whatever things I put together, I find they never give me total happiness. In fact, a few days back, somebody spoke to me. "Sir, I started studying Gita so late. I am now 75 years old. What to do?" I said, "At least you got it now." "No, like you, if I had started 30 years away, it would have been a great thing." Yeah, it would have been great, but what can you do about the past? You can't do anything about the past. So, being some equation will always not be okay. If it is okay, if I get the best job in the world, I will not get it in the best place in the world. If I get in the best place in the world, my neighbors won't be okay. If everything falls in way, there won't be a water supply. On the nights, the dogs will howl all over the town. Some problem will be there. Okay. So there is always a cause for unhappiness. You complained about you being unhappy about a situation, about a person, about something inside you. So happiness you never complain about, unhappiness you complain. And when you complain about unhappiness, you try and do certain things. What do you do? Try and do one of the things. Try and do artha kama, acquire. I have to acquire. When I have money, when I have positions, when I have possessions, when I am with some people, when at the end of the show, people applaud me. Okay? Somebody these days has come. The income tax department has sent you a badge these days. Okay, it says, proud filer. Something came to me 2 days ago. I thought I am the only fellow. I have it. And I, with great pride, it said, you go to your Facebook app, go to your profile picture, put add a frame, it will come. I added. Yeah, I found everybody and his uncle is having the same badge. What is the joy there? Special joy. All joy gone. So you want to feel better. In comparison, you want to feel better. I have a badge you don't have. I have something which others don't have. Because I want success. I want success. There are so many spheres. I want success in some sphere which possibly others have not had success in those spheres. I want success in those spheres. So I thought getting a badge is important. Getting an award is important. Lot more important when somebody says you are a wonderful fellow. Lot more. Somebody calls up and says, you're a wonderful person. You're an amazing human being. It makes me feel so good. That means I want to be somebody. I want to be a significant person. How do I want to be a significant person? Artha, Kama, and Dharma. I want to be significant. I want to be recognized. I want people to tell me you're good. I'm not satisfied with the fact that I am good. Somebody has to validate it. It gives me a lot of joy, when somebody comes and says, I love you. Because I feel so validated. But when I look at myself, I feel, what is there to love this fellow? Only a lacking fellow and somebody says, I love. It makes you feel so good. Somebody says, you're a wonderful person. I posted some picture and somebody said, and somebody had commented that, looking at you itself is a great motivation. Another person has written below that, you should have looked at him 20 years ago. It should have actually made me happy. I thought, 20 years ago I was looking better. Now I am no longer looking better. See how sadness creeps on in you. Somebody actually appreciated you. Somebody said even looking at you is wonderful. Another fellow said you should have looked at him 20 years ago. So I'm not happy with the fact that somebody said I was looking very good even 20 years ago. The fact comes that 20 years ago I was looking good. Today I am no longer that good. Look at the way that the inadequacy touches me immediately, catches me immediately. Inadequacy. To overcome this inadequacy, overcome this insecurity, overcome this anxiety, or agony, agony, or pain inside. I am inadequate. There's a chatter going on. You're no good. No good. No good. You're no good. You're small. Okay? What other solution is there other than going to Ishvara? Religion exploits this very well. Not all religions. Many religions exploit this very well. So already you are sad. One religion comes and tells you you are a sinner. Poch. So here gone, hereafter there is some cure. Another religion says you are bad, but you kill another fellow who doesn't behave like you will get some freedom. That's religion. I don't want to go into other religions. I want to go into our own. I want to go to the Vedic palliative care for this inadequacy. Palliative care. It is like saying, somebody says, it is palliative care. Then why are you giving palliative care? Some people want it, man. I don't want palliative care. But many people who want palliative care. Just because I don't want palliative care, our Swamiji once gave a beautiful example. There was a fellow who went to a supermarket and he saw a shop which had, 221 varieties of shampoo. He looked at it and said, all waste. Why? Because he had no hair on his head. No problem. Everything is on my perspective. So without judging, if you look at what is available in some of our religious literature, it says, what is the way out of shokam? You do punya karma. Don't ask question why you are sorrowful. It must have been because of some papa karma in the past. So now you do punya karma. It will be okay. After Guru Payarchi, it will be okay. After Shani Payarchi, it will be okay. When will it be okay? Will it be the same for all Simha Rasi people? Imagine the world population is divided by 12. Okay, so 1/12 of the world population is Simha Rasi. It should be okay for all of them today. No, it's not okay. So Rasikulla, so many permutations come in. So some Papa Karma, you are doing something, it will be okay. If it is not okay now, it will be okay elsewhere. You will end up in Swargaloka. It's our Vedas, okay? It is all our literature. I'm not going to it. So how will Swargaloka be? Swargaloka will throughout the day dance and music. Dance and music, dance music, dance music, dance music. Sapadu? No. So in Swargaloka, you will not feel hungry or thirsty. So why do you need sapadu? Look at the life. Now, you see, here you can go to T Nagar, have pani puri and all. In Swargaloka, you can't have pani puri. No food available. You are dance music, dance music, dance music. Okay? Will food be available? Yeah, it will all be on display because by looking at it, you will get satisfaction. That is Swargaloka life. I'm not saying it's in the book, you can read if you want. That is Swargaloka. Okay? Now, let's say one of us or a few of us from here go to Swargaloka. And we have all done good karmas. And Swargaloka is a desirable place where we will not be unhappy. We will be very, very happy. We will go to Swargaloka. And Swargaloka, you have to have an address, Swargaloka. Why should you go to Swargaloka? God is there. Then let us go to Swargaloka. Okay? Let us go to Swargaloka. Swargaloka, you have to write an email first. Mahavishnu@vaikuntanadapuram.com. You go there. You end up in Vaikuntanadapuram. And because it is a desirable place, and because a lot of people, just imagine India population alone is there. 10% of India's population, you have 1 crore people. It has to be a huge complex. And Mahavishnu sitting there at a distance, small distance. You have to go near and see. Angi Jarakandi crowd will be there. Why I am saying this is, if going from one place to another can make you happier, then moving from Bhuloka to Swargaloka is moving from one place to another place. It is just a holiday place. It's a beautiful, divine holiday place. How long can you stay there? Jarakandi out. It says, Shine Punye Marthyalokam Vishanti. How long can you go and stay on a holiday? Till your money runs out, or till your leave runs out, or both run out. In the same way, if you go to Swargaloka, so your punya currency will run out, or your leave will run out, you will be back on earth. So that also is a temporary place. We do not have eternal heaven. We do not have eternal hell. So that also is a going and coming. That means by a process of change, you cannot become happy. By a process of change, you cannot become significant, because at some point of time you will become insignificant. Some other person will become more significant than you are. When the other person becomes more significant, you are not happy that that person has become significant. You feel that how did this fellow reach my position? So even if you go to heaven, where is this wanting mind? There is no change here. Unless this changes, unless the internal changes, how can you appreciate the external at all? This is the problem which Krishna addresses. Krishna says, Arjun, and through Arjun he tells all of us, Ashochan anvasochastvam. You are grieving over things that do not deserve grief. Simple reason, anything that is created has to come to some end now or later. I don't know about plastics, maybe a Krishna type. So anything that is created has to come to an end. You are grieving about losing something. You are grieving about a loss. Please understand, loss is built into the system. Loss is inevitable. So if you are going to say grieve over a loss, it's a problem. You can have what is called sadness over a loss. But it can become a sorrow. It can be sadness. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I lose something valuable. Definitely there is sadness. I lose a good friend, and definitely sadness. I remember way back, when I was a teenager, and a very close friend, and he went on a holiday, and when he was crossing the train track, he was knocked down by a train. He was a 19-year-old fellow. I was just about 6 months younger than him. The sadness remained with me for a very long time. So sadness is quite possible. And my father passed away. It was very sad. My Guruji attained Samadhi. We were all very sad. Sadness happens. But I'm not sorrowful. What I'm talking to you is only because of my Guruji. Yes, we are sad. We do feel sad. Right? Swami Indayanodanalandru. But then there's a reality. Hey, Swamiji is already having health problems. If he were, he will be 90 years old. Okay, so when you are talking about going somewhere, a process of change, it is not that you don't know. Okay, that's why he says you are talking like a pandita, but you are acting like a non-pandita. Pragya Vadanscha Bhashase. Why is he saying that? Is, see, at heart of hearts, it has to come to an end. You have to retire someday, yet you ask for a permanent job. We all know that very well. He says you know the truth, but you have never ever addressed the truth. You know the reality, but you have never ever addressed the reality. Therefore, Ashochan, you are grieving over things that do not deserve grief because you have not really looked at the reality at all. Look at the practical reality of the war situation. You have come here to fight a war, not to give lectures, so fight. You are worried about killing of Bhishma, Drona. They are capable of taking care of themselves. In a war, death is unavoidable. Death on either side is unavoidable. Point number 2. Point number 3, if you had decided to withdraw, the time of withdrawal is not now. You should have withdrawn long ago, not in the battlefield. Practical. He is approaching you practical. And if you are not, then he says, I know I am able to understand the practical issues, but I know even if I look at the whole thing practically, some agony is bugging me. There is an agony in the system. There is something inside which is bugging me, which is telling me that all the success in the world will always make me see myself as an inadequate person. There is a smallness which I have put on myself. All of us have put on ourselves a smallness, an inadequacy. I am not okay. The you are okay is not coming. I am not okay alone is coming. He says, I don't find any solution. I don't find worldly solution. I don't find his heavenly solution. When you ask this question, Krishna smiles because he says, there's this beautiful song, "Irukkum idathai vittu illada idam thedi engengo alaygiran ஞானத்தங்கமே." Meaning, you are actually missing your adequate self. You are missing your adequate self. And that missing adequate self is not lost. He is not gone away somewhere. It is not that you have to become, because if you become, you can unbecome also. If something is acquired in time, you can lose it in time. What you are looking for is an adequate self, a permanently adequate self. Permanent means it is beyond, it is, even time is inside that. It's not in time. It is outside time. Even time is accommodated in that. I am looking for such an adequate person. I am looking for a secure person. With or without artha kama, I want to be. Look at yourself, please look at your thoughts. Please look at your thoughts. I will give you all the artha kama in the world. That's one side. Okay, that's what Krishna told Duryodhana. On one side, I will give you all my resources. On the other side, I am there. Choose. Arjuna said, I choose you. Would you choose a certain inner adequacy which says, with or without everything in this world, I am independent. I am Isha, Ishvara. I am Swami. Otherwise, I am Asami. Asami. I am not a Swami. Swami is a fellow who does Swarajya. That is Swarajya. That is independence. Swarajya, Amara, Janma Siddha Adhikar. It's not an Adhikar, it's a fact. You just have to own up. It is the Adhikara. It is yours. You are there. You're there. We'll see in details. We'll see. This is my only job now. Till you get it, I won't leave you. Okay. Two things will happen. Either this costume will go sometime. Before that, you please take it. And then one of you will continue. Okay, so it is me. It is not mine. It is me. It is my nature. Krishna says, Tat, that Ishvara, that fullness that you wanted, Tat Tvam Asi, you are. You are feeling sorrowful, saying these things are changing, this is happening, that's happening, this is happening. Understand these things will happen. That is an order of reality. There is another order of reality, the absolute order of reality, which is you, Atma. Tat, that reality, Tvam Asi, you are. It is not become. That you will become, you are that. And as a student, I have to come and say, Aham Brahmasmi, I got it. That's what Krishna Arjuna says at the end. Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan maya achyuta. Hey Achyuta, thanks to you, I got it. That's what you will have to say sometime. So you are an adequate person. There is nothing missing in you. And that adequate person has to be known. You have to know the adequate person. You have known the adequate person as not different from me. You have to own up that adequate person here and now and claim and live like that adequate person. It is not that, okay, I've got appreciation, everything is fine. Apra? Swamiji used to say, Chappala, knowledge gone. No, not like that. He says you have to know the nature of the adequate person. You have to know that you are that adequate person. If it is not working, you have to make the absorbed appropriate eligibility corrections inside to able to absorb, download that knowledge. Vyasena gratitam. Vyasa downloaded from Krishna. You have to download. Your database, your system has to be able to download, save it, and work. Delete. That's why I said, swaha, swaha, all that old kuppai eல்லாம் தூக்கி போடுங்க. You don't need kuppai. Do you need kuppai or do you need valuable stuff? It is not invaluable stuff. It is yourself. You have to know the truth. You have to know that you are that. You have to download, keep it to yourself, cultivate the eligibility, constantly reflect, claim, and live that life. Then he says, at one point of time in chapter 2, it will come. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani eva atmana tushtaha stitadhir muniruchyate. Who is a stitadhi? Who is an adequate person? One who is atmani eva atmana tushtaha. One who has known his own being as a limitless Purna Ananda Purushaha. One who has known himself as a limitlessly happy person, known and recognized the fact using an appropriate means of knowledge. And when you own up, what happened? Prajahati yada kaman, all other insignificant jujjubi will all fall off. Swaha, they'll fall off you. That is the knowledge which Ishvara is taking you to. That's where they are taking you to. Okay? So, this is the way the knowledge will proceed. All tough stuff. Now, let's do a little more on this. Last week we saw some practical stuff. Some people say, sir, theoretically we are able to understand how to do it practically. There's no theory, no practice. You have to practice. It's all practice, it's all real. So like last week we say, I play various roles. Okay? So I play the role. Like I said, I play the role of a father, I'm a husband, I'm a friend to so many people. I play so many roles. I'm a retired government official, I'm a pensioner. So many things are there. There are various roles. Each role comes with a certain script. Each script will have twists, plot, ups and downs. This is called empirical reality. You will never have a trouble-free role. You may see somebody having a trouble-free role. That is your perception. It's not reality. So that perception is called subjective reality. Very often we say, look at what a good fortune fellow. It is your reality. It is your subjective reality. You don't know what problem is going through. You ask him, can I swap places? He will say, gladly. Gladly. Okay. Problems. I tell you what. So empirical reality is the reality of the role. Subjective is reality, is the projected reality that you have given. Behind all this, there is an absolute reality. What is the absolute reality? You have to go somewhere? No. The roles are empirical reality. The role player is absolute reality. So I, father, son, father of a son, father of a daughter, father-in-law, friend, so many roles. These are variable roles. All roles are variable. All variables are available on an invariable platform. Who is that invariable platform? Absolute reality. Roles are empirical reality. What I make of the role is subjective reality. What am I, the role player? Absolute reality. The next few verses, we will talk about the nature of absolute reality. That's what Bhagavad Gita is. Actually speaking, simple. Okay, some people say, why 700 verses? Asocha and Anvasocha Swam, it's all over. I don't know why Vyasa gave up. Rather than question it all, then let's look at how we can make use of it. Okay. Are you ready for some more serious stuff? Yeah, we have to be ready. If you want total dukkha removal from your life, we have to look at absolute reality. Because you want absolute dukkha removal. You want empirical dukkha removal, no problem. Jai Ram, bola heaven bola. We can all go here. We can have a one-day picnic. We can have costumes. We can put a balloon in your nose and act like a joker. All this, your sorrow will be forgotten. At the end of the day, when you come home, you will realize that you are not at home. Please understand this. Finish the jolly, come back home, you understand you are not at home. Empirical, no problem at all here. It makes my life easier. I can keep giving you empirical solutions. Healing, I can do this healing, I can do that healing, music therapy, color therapy. You can see all empirical solutions I can give you. No, but you want absolute solution. No, in that case, you have to look at absolute reality. No other choice. Let us look at the absolute reality. We will briefly touch absolute reality, and I'll take you deep into absolute reality in our next session. Absolute reality. So, I am a role player. I play various roles. So, who am I? Role player. So, I'm going to ask you a question. Who am I? A question. I'm going to ask you, who are you? I am some name. That's your name. Who are you? Son of so and so. That's a relationship. Who are you? What else? Retired so and so. That's a position. Who are you? Owner of some property. That's in relation to some jadavastu. Who are you? When your attention is too much on jadavastu, you also become a jadam. Jadavastu. Who are you? Have you really tried to address the question, who are you? At the end of the day, you will say, oh, I'll just, beginning, I am a sorrowful person. Beautiful. Veda has worked lovely. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita reveals your nature to you. It says, you are a complete, whole, conscious being. You are Chaitanyam. You are a conscious being. The conscious being has a body. Wow. The conscious being's body has an internal operating system. The conscious being has an application software. The conscious being's operating system is unique to this body. And in that operating system, there is a reflection of the total cosmic consciousness. That's my composition of this infrastructure, costume. And this infrastructure is called Jiva. And once the Jiva is born, he is given a name, fame, and all these things. Name, he acquires fame. Along with the fame, he has a lot of other problems also. All roles. Roles means problem. Roles means plots, twists, turns. Imagine somebody gives you the role of a king's bodyguard. Throughout the day, what you have to do? You have to keep standing. You say, no, sir, there is no action. There's a lot of action. You are the only fellow who has to keep standing throughout the day. Expressionless face. What an acting, There's last week I must have told you. Some people come into your life. We say they come to give me pain, they come to give me this. They'll say. There's a very beautiful song I once heard in a movie. It says, Tera vajood hai, सिर्फ दास्तां के लिए. You are being given a role to play out an overall drama. We'll see all this. So I am a conscious being playing so many roles. I transit from one role to another with ease. The only problem is somewhere along the way, I have ignored the absolute reality that I am a role player and the problems of the role have percolated onto me. That is the confusion, moha, ignorance. That is the original sin. That's our original sin, okay? Not some apple eating original sin. That is my original sin. The original sin is I am a conscious being whose nature is happiness, whose nature is purnatvam. Difficult to believe. Vedas comes and shows a mirror. It says, I will show you. Have enough Shraddha in me. Means part of that. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha. Just have faith in my words. Why should you have faith in words? Because I'm not taking you on a holiday. I'm not taking you to Vaikuntanada.com to give you Puliyodarai, Vadai and all those things. Okay? That is available in the local temple. Anywhere there is no hunger, thirst, what will you eat there? I'm not taking you on there. I am giving you, revealing a fact to you. By revealing the fact to you, I don't gain anything other than one job well done. I am revealing a fact that you are a whole person, you are an adequate person, you are a happy person, you lack nothing. Your sorrow is meaningless. That's all I'm revealing to you. I'm revealing a fact to you. I'm revealing, and if you're refusing to accept the fact, what will I do? There was a fellow, who believed he was a dog. Who believed he was a cat. And then, what happened? They took him to the doctor. The doctor showed a cat to him. See, this is a cat's ears, this is your ear. You're not a cat. Look at the cat's whiskers, look at your whiskers. You're not a cat. Look how the cat says meow, meow. How you speak. You're not a cat. He was convinced he was not a cat. The doctor, a huge fees was paid to convince me that I'm not a cat. Okay, then 15 days later, I won't come out of my house. My wife called the doctor. This fellow is not coming. The doctor said, give me the phone. What happened? I told you are not a cat. Yeah, I know you. I'm convinced I am not a cat. Then why won't you go out? I know I am not a cat. But do the dogs know I am not a cat? What will you do with this fellow? The dog is very happy. Very happy because more such cats, more business for him. His arthakama will grow. So I am coming and telling you there is nothing wrong with you, man. You're an adequate being. I just need Shraddha. I need open-mindedness. I need regularity. I need reflection. And to knock off the roles problem, what do you have to do? Okay, then you are playing a role. The role is that of a very sad man. There was one movie, the Indians love all these sad movies. The Bengal literature, I saw Devdas. Devdas couldn't, Devdas was in love with Paro. Paro married somebody, so Devdas grew a dadi, bottle and died. So one Devdas movie was made, leaving behind all the youthful fellows in Bengal, Devdas. Somebody failed to love, and Devdas had one. What has happened? Assuming there is a real heartbreak, what happens? What has happened in that heartbreak? A role had a heartbreak, full stop. Empirical reality. Why should it percolate down to the role player? Yes, it can percolate to the role player for some time because you are intimately connected to the role. The role's nose is your nose. The role's hand is your hand. The role's face is your face. The role's heart is your heart. So you are intimately connected to the role. So the problems of the role can touch, but it cannot remain touched. It can touch and has to go back. At some point of time, as a role player, you have to say, push it back to the role. When you push it back to the role, you say it was important for the role to be the role there. That role needed it. Will you go and tell the complaint, hey, you poor fellow, you shouldn't have given him so much sorrow? You tell the fellow, fantastic man, give me one more round of sorrow. I will act even better. See how you have, without doing anything, by sheer paradigm shift, shifted your sorrow in knowledge to no longer a sorrow. It is not a sorrow, man. It is a role requiring empirical reality. Role required empirical reality. As a role player, I see that has helped me play that role better. I am free. What an example. This has to be done regularly. And for doing it, the recording all this, you have to do a lot of work. Cleaning has to be done. One cleaning, please do every morning and again every evening. I'll give you the mantra in the group. You can share it with people. You can start this mantra saying, Aham Parabrahma Swarupam. I am a conscious being. I have no sorrow. I am pure. There are circumstances unfolding. I play the roles demanded by the circumstances adequately. I do what is required to be done. The problems of the role remain with the role. The problems of the role remain with the role. Do this affirmation twice a day. First thing in the morning. The gadget, don't touch this gadget in the morning. Do it first thing. Fold your bed back. Neat up bedsheet. Imagine you are doing it in a 5-star hotel, okay? Neat up bed, fold it back. Sit cross-legged. Lift your hand out. Aham Purna Pariparam Brahma Sarvam. I have absolutely no sorrow. I am awake today because someone needs me today. That's why Yama decided to give you some more time, because someone needs you today. I am needed today. That's why I'm awake. The person who needs me, may I be able to help that person. May I play my roles well. May the problems of the role remain with the role. Oh, do it twice a day. Okay, problems of the role remain with the role. May the problems of the role remain with the role. May I be free. May I be free. May I see myself as a free person. You are free. You are emotionally free. See yourself as a free person. Do it every day. We'll do more such sadhana. It has to be done. You have to see. You don't have to wait till 18 chapters ends to see yourself as a free person. See today. And after we finish chapter 2, we'll start chapter 3. You won't see anything, no difference. See today. Very simple. I am not the role. I play roles. Okay? I am the role player. What is the nature of the role player? I am a conscious being. Okay? I am the conscious being. Each person plays roles differently. Each person's script is different. Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes, if you don't stick to the script, other problems are there. But right now, let us look at my role. Even if the other person plays a role differently, I will play my role according to my script. I once heard a very famous actress in an interview. She said in a movie, in one particular play, she was to approach her friend saying that my husband has to go through an expensive surgery. I don't have money. She's a poor lady. The rich lady removes her bangles. A typical Indian gesture. and she gives her 4 gold bangles. Curtain up, the character has come, and she comes and speaks to the person. My husband is undergoing surgery. I don't have money. She look at the lady's hand. That lady has forgotten to put on the bangles before coming onto the stage. What will you do? She changed the script suitably. I have come to thank you. If you had not given your bangles, I would have never been able to admit him for surgery. Ida presence of mind. So the script given to you is destiny. How you play the script, how you face the changes and others missing or not draping the script properly is your willpower, is your free will. Beauty by that destiny. The karma, the agami karma. This is how you play. We'll see everything. Vedanta answers all questions. So beautiful. So beautiful. So let's start playing today. Kalila, I am a role player, not the role. Role has problems. I don't have problems. Make a correction. There are no problems in life. There are only issues. Okay? All issues have solutions. The solutions may not be to my liking. Okay? Solution may not be to my liking. But issues have solution. I have to take an action. Action will have consequences. I say I take responsibility for all my consequences, for all my actions. I don't disown any consequence. Kali you will go to Satya Yuga now. Today you can go to Satya Yuga. This is chapter 2. We've just entered. Okay. Let us wait for the next week. Next week, I'll be back in Chennai for the live session at Vasudha and Prakash's place. All others remote login can continue. So let's have the Shanti mantra and then the questions. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha gobrahmanebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samastha sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyaha पृथिवी सस्यशालिनीं देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भया सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय बोलो सब संतों की जय पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय Bajrangabali ki jai. Next week in the bogi, rather than burn own kupai, light a symbolic fire inside and throw anger, resentment, sorrow, inadequacy, expectations, controlling others' life, projecting too much importance to things. Idella burn. That's what bogi is meant to be. Then Pongal rise. We'll see the Pongal. Okay. So it's very blessed by the Guru to be able to share thoughts with you. We are all blessed. Only if you are blessed enough, if there is punyam in your life, you will at least get to hear the word Gita. If you understand that if in your life you have heard there is something called Bhagavad Gita, I've heard there is something called Bhagavad Gita, that means some punyam has come into your life. So I'm not saying this for promotion purpose, because it's your life. Absolute Ananda is you are that. You just have to claim it. It's an equation. We'll see it next week. Okay, well, any questions? If any question, I can take it. Fine. There are no questions.
There's a question in the chat box, Mohanji.
Oh, there's a question in the chat box. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. The question says, who defines the nature of the role? Some role played by many, but each plays it differently. If each of them feel it is their empirical role they are playing as it's needed by role player to depict so, then everyone is justified. A cruel father, a kind father, both feel they are playing what their roles demand. Fine, fine, wonderful, wonderful. Very good question. Okay, understand there are three things. Okay, the role of the father is, it's like how the script is given to you. How the script is given. Please let's understand. It is like filling up one of those electronic digital forms. Name, sex, M nu pota one, some fields will open up, some fields will close. So you will have to fill up those fields. Acha. Ipo, somebody said, no, cruel father, kind father. I want the father to ask himself this question. Would he like to have a cruel father? The answer is no. I wouldn't like to have a cruel father. Therefore, I can't be a cruel father. I can be a strict father. Ada script. The script falls under what is called dharma. There is something called samanya dharma. There is something called vishesha dharma. So there is no question of I being a cruel. Somebody has to ask this question. Can I be a cruel father? Would you like to have a cruel father? Would you like to have a father who neglected you? Would you like to have an alcoholic father? Would you like to have a father who beat your mother? Would you like to have? So what you don't like to have, you don't have, give, that's all. இங்க என்ன அடுத்து Jesus அங்க சொன்னாரு, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. This is called intelligent role playing.
அப்படி இல்ல, சில பேர் வந்து they won't even know that they have been subject to cruelty because they are used to it. பார்த்து அதுதான் அப்படிதான் இருக்கும் நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கா.
Fine. It's a good point. Again, Padma says this thing that some people do not even know. They think this is how it should be. They have been subjected to cruelty. See, here again I say, even who have been subjected to cruelty, please talk to them alone for some time. They will tell you, I have been subjected to a lot of abuse during my childhood. That means abuse is not okay. He was not comfortable with the abuse. Now what is happening from his unconscious, it is coming out. That abuse, the torture, the cruelty has all gone into his unconscious. They have gone into his subconscious and they are surfacing when he is playing the role because he finds the role a little too much. Empirical reality, address the issues of the role, seek help. Let them go as a family to somebody. The teacher will say, this is not okay, pa. Beating is not okay. ஒரு காலத்துல உங்க அப்பா அடிச்சு வளர்த்தாரு, இப்ப திருப்பி அடிச்சா அதெல்லாம் நடக்காதுப்பா. These days things have changed. Please go. There is everybody available. See, once upon a time we had a joint family. So there was somebody available for advice. Now we all need the joint family, but we have wound up the infrastructure. That's a problem. We all need. We know. See, suppose I have been subjected to torture during my childhood. I know it is not because I'm not comfortable. I know it is not okay. I should be smart enough not to pass it on. If I am not, if there is something bothering me, I should address this. I can't say it has come from the unconscious, the destiny, what to do. No, that is not okay. I am a human being. I have something called free will. Sankalpa Shakti I have. Something tells me I can rewrite. So where possible, see, it is the role, beauty of the role is not every page is written. 3 pages are written, 2 pages are blank. How you write those 2 pages will determine how the next few pages are written. The written script reveals itself. For example, when you are 5, the certain what will happen at 25 is not revealed. But as you approach 25, the roles are revealed. It's a unique script. It's a lovely script, which can be, I can change what is going to come tomorrow, today. It is like going upstream. Imagine there is a river which is flowing at about 2 kilometers speed downstream. I have to cross from this side to that side. What will I do? I will put the boat on the nose up. At some point, turn the nose and cut the motor. It will automatically turn. By putting a motor, I can go downstream 2 plus 10, 12 kilometers per hour. I can put a motor and go upstream at 10 minus 2. So the flow of the current at 2 kilometers downstream is the destiny. And putting a motor, navigation, Sotirna Khalu Vandapai, by the help of Keshava, the boatman, I can navigate. That's the freedom I have in the script. That's a unique script. Unique script of Ishvara. We'll see that. We'll see that. Okay. So wish you all a wonderful Pongal in the coming week. We will meet on Om Jaya.
Thank you for the wonderful session today.
Wonderful. Thank you.